This is A Drink with the Hurricane, the talk show discussing all things growing your home care business. This video is sponsored by Home Care Evolution, where we help home care agencies adapt to changing circumstances, transform their business so that they can thrive for years to come.
It's a myth. You have to put the due diligence in. When you put that due diligence in, that's what makes you an entrepreneur. Or scratch it, you put the due diligence in, you're still standing, that's what makes you a successful entrepreneur. Amen? Right? So, the 7 steps of freedom, if you want to write these down. Alright? First thing we're going to do is develop a plan. I love what Kelly said there to the lady who was the business development person, where it was basically plan your work and work your plan, right? Once you have your plan in place, the second thing we got to do is we've got to begin to remove ourselves from the day-to-day operations. And this is a tough one. I know, I've been around a long time. One of those myths that people say is, nobody does it the way I do it. That's a friggin' myth. All right? That's all in your head. You'll be surprised when you start to delegate. But why do we say that? Why do we think that? Because we've all been burned, right? We've all delegated to that person who messed up, and then I'm the one who had to clean up the mess, and so therefore it makes it hard for me to trust anybody ever again, and so I'll just do it myself. That's what we say, right? But that's that's the due diligence. That's one of those 10,000 hours. That's entrepreneurial growth, the ability to delegate and trust and let other people do it. Get out of your, stay in your lane. This is growth, right? Create an operations manual. If you're going to expand, if you're going to grow, if you're going to be able to get true freedom in your organization, you have to be able to grow, and you have to be able to grow rapidly. In order to grow rapidly, you have to have standard operating procedures. In order to have standard operating procedures, you have to create an operations manual. Join a mastermind. Man, I can't talk about this enough. I've run several masterminds. I belong to masterminds myself. Meeting with my fellow entrepreneurs is like a great thing, because that's why I need the mastermind, because then I can talk to my peers about what's going on. I can get ideas and constructive ways to move forward and see things that I can't see because I'm in the business every single day. Does that make sense? And I know everybody's in the mastermind, they're also like, absolutely, this is why I love it. Executive director, that is the pivotal, that's the key position. That's the position. That's what gives you the freedom so you can then start spending more time working on the business versus in the business, because there is a difference. And that is tremendous. And then you follow the proven plan. So you got steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You do all of that, then just work it. Right? So in the beginning, you create a plan, then you follow your plan and execute it. And then before long, you can celebrate your victory. Take that month off that I talked about earlier. Go down to the sandbar and have a drink with the hurricane. Right? It'll be fun. This is a picture of us in Bermuda last year. The Elite Academy clients, we like to have fun and go to fun places. Right? What is the plan? So with this plan, what does freedom, this is what I want you to write down the question for myself, for yourself, write this down. What does freedom in my role look like to me? What does freedom in my role look like to me?